The classical column is ubiquitous because of its association with the buildings of antiquity. It's understood that these columns make a statement of permanence, authority, and grandeur. In the last 100 years, architects have also built on this reputation by creating unique variations. However, one of the first truly creative adaptations appeared right next to the Parthenon, at the Porch of Maidens in the 5th century BC. The small porch of 6 stone maidens is positioned on the south side of the Erechtheum on the Acropolis. The columns are sculptures of women. The maidens could have been Ionic columns like those found around the corner on the temple. Instead, the architect Nesicles did something creative. The maidens taper as they ascend, just like a typical column. The heads appear like capitals and are just thick enough at the neck to support the weight above. And creatively, their dresses mimic Ionic fluting. From caves to Trabeation, pyramids to the pantheon, caryatids to classical orders, humankind lived, worshipped, and buried their dead. But they also did something far more lasting. They were creative. We could have stayed in caves, built nothing else, and added not one bit of ornament to our habitable objects. But we didn't, precisely because we are creative beings. Creativity has moved architecture forward through a kind of evolution. Architects learn from one another, copy each other, and build on one another's work. And every once in a while they do something so unique, it changes the paradigm. And one might venture to say that although it's not always obvious, Trabeation is the thread that makes it all possible. Architects are the creative force behind our built environment, and good ones make buildings look the way they do for a reason. In 1914, a new building could be found in downtown Grinnell, Iowa. That building had a large decorative element called a cartouche placed squarely on the front facade. The building is the work of an architect named Louis Henry Sullivan. The element reflects Sullivan's thinking about buildings that actually originated with the Roman architect known as Vitruvius. Vitruvius believed that buildings should not only be structurally sound, but functional and beautiful. Sullivan was a Chicago architect well known for his embrace of the idea that a building's form should follow its function. In some ways, this thinking was the reason for the geometrically simplistic massing seen in many of his buildings. However, it was his familiarity with Vitruvius that seems to have inspired the organic detail that adorned his buildings and set his work apart.